Hey, what is up guys? GuitarRock here, welcome back to another Brown Dust 2 video. Alright, if you guys are not aware, this is Brown Dust 2, got recently released. Server was launched today for global server. Now what is this game all about? As you can see, it's a very JRPG style game. You have the ability to move your characters around as follows in this somewhat of a unique isometric style kind of angle. And what makes this game really unique, if you guys are not familiar with the Brown Dust, it features a lot of the same Brown Dust characters that we are all familiar with. Now, in this video, I'm going to talk about rerolling, show you guys a little bit of the combat system, etc. So let's jump into it. But first things first, this video is sponsored by LD Player, which is an Android emulator that I'm using to run the game. As you guys can see, LD Player is one of the best emulator to run this particular game, Brown Dust 2. I'm also using LD Player to run a lot of my other Android games as well. Let me show you guys. Here are the list of games that I've been, installing on my LD Player, and it does work very well. It's a product that I truly believe in, and if you guys are looking for an Android emulator somewhat, if you want to play any of your Android games on PC or iOS games on PC, you can use LD Player. I'll have my referral link in the description below. So far, Brown Dust 2 has been working extremely smooth. There's no problem. I had zero crashes whatsoever. You can even try to force this to play on landscape by default and even further enhance your gaming experience if you increase it all the way up to 120 FPS as well. With that being said, let's jump into the reroll for this game. Once you play past the tutorial, which is about, I would say 15 to 20 minutes or so, if you skip past the dialogue and stuff, it should be faster. You will reach a part where you can do unlimited reroll. Alright, so the unlimited reroll is pretty good in this game. I do appreciate it. Now, what is the goal or objective, or what is going to be the best characters to obtain in this game? So let me jump into the list or the cast of characters right here. So these are the current available characters that we have. Okay, so let me show you guys a little bit of the design of the characters first. Alright, so you can see it features a very high L to D art. Some of these characters did not appear at all in the first Brown Dust, aka Brave 9. For example, Lee Xian right here. I don't think I've seen her. And then we have Bernie, this is definitely a new character. Samai and Cry, however, you guys might be very familiar with. If you play the first Brown Dust, they dominate the Novice Arena for the longest time ever. Jaden, everybody's favorite, is back in the game, as you can see, right? Alongside, we also have Andrew. I think this guy was the companion for Alice, if I'm not mistaken, right? But yeah, you can see we do have 5 stars, we do have 4 stars, and we have 3 stars as well. So let's focus on the 5 stars, ideally because they are harder to obtain, right? So this game is a little bit complicated. It does have a mixture of weapons and the characters. So the best combination that you want is you want to obtain a character with its weapon. Now the weapon also will have substats for you to obtain, right? So ideally, who is going to be the best character for you to obtain? And that is going to be Alec. Alright, so by far Alec is going to be probably the best candidate if you are new to the game and you don't want to learn too much, don't want to try to understand the basic mechanics or the complex mechanics of the game. Alec is going to help you a ton early on because Alec is going to be easy to build. You can see he does 84 true physical damage based off 200% of attack. Now, true damage, if you guys are not familiar with, this term basically is called fixed damage in the first Brown Dust. Basically, this is going to do the same amount of damage. Doesn't matter how much damage reduction the enemy has, doesn't matter how much crit you have, it's going to always give you the same amount of damage. So therefore, if you actually roll for Alec, you also want to roll for Alec's weapon. Make sure Alec's weapon substat, check the substat, you're looking for attack percent. Alright, please do not go for crit rate percent, do not go for crit damage percent, because Alec will not crit based upon this. Is going to be true damage. Now Alec is going to be the top candidate by far. I would say go for him. Now the one that you do not want to go for is Lethal, Justia, Shahrazad, I can't pronounce the name correctly, and Grey, because these 4 characters you're gonna obtain for free. Alright, you will be getting them later on in the quest. You can see I've already got Lethal and Justia. So you can reroll for anyone else, but these 4, because you're getting them for free, I wouldn't recommend rerolling for them. Now if you get dupes, you can sort of +1 the costume and improve their skill somewhat, but early on you want to try to have more characters. Alec is going to be the best candidate because Alec is an attacker. It's an assault type character, and I do think that, in PvP he's going to shine. Now let's talk about the next best candidate. Who do you get besides Alec? I personally went for Celia. Now, I'm a big fan of Celia because she has an ability to debuff the enemy. You can see she hits 7 times. Each attack is going to deal 3 magic damage based off the 12% of her magic attack. So decrease attack by 35% for 4 turns. This is a debuff that she can apply. You can see she's a skip and she hits in the huge style. Alright, the ability to skip is going to be something that you want to go for, something that's much more sought after compared to something that hits front. I do like her ability, it's a very big AoE. I do think she's going to be the second best candidate for a lot of players, personally. Now as for the third choice, I personally do think Rafina is going to be a very good option as well. Now Rafina, similar to Celia, you can see she hits in the skip tile. She doesn't have that 3x3 knight tile, but she has a cross tile, which is still not bad, alright? She does physical damage based off 175% of attack, remove barrier on target. So she's going to be pretty consistent throughout in terms of the damage. She's going to be pretty solid as well. I do think Rafina is going to be a good solid choice for starters. These 3, I would say, not bad, alright? So there are a few other characters that I do get asked a lot, why don't I pick them as much? Okay, let's talk about Anastasia. Alright, so Anastasia is similar to Rafina. I do think that Rafina is slightly better because Rafina is a skip, whereas Anastasia she hits very front. Alright, so someone that's a skip is going to have inherently more value early on because you want to be able to sometimes skip and hit the enemy in the back. Now hitting front is not bad, but it's just not as useful because every player is going to have access to Justia, like I mentioned. So you can see she does have crit damage by 100% for 1 turn, attack 3 times, and also deals 13 physical damage based off 35% of the attack. She is going to be, in my humble opinion, probably the 4th or the 5th choice, right? And then Lacklist is also a very good character. I do think she's probably one of the best defender right now because as far as I know, she's the only character that's taunt, right? You can see she can decrease incoming damage by 35% and enemies attack focuses on you for 2 turns. Alright, not many characters as taunt. She's going to be one of the better options. Although later on, if you can obtain a 3-star or a 4-star that has taunt, I think she's going to get replaced because there's no need for you to go 5-star characters that can taunt. Plus you can see her SP is really high, 7. I think she's going to be better or stronger in the late game, but early on, I feel like you don't really need her as much. Same applies for Helena as well, something that I get asked a lot. Why don't I recommend Helena as much? Very simple reason is because if you look at her skills, right? So her use SP is 3. What she does is she gives decrease incoming damage by 20%. Alright, so she's going to give you a damage reduction buff. Seems like a very good buff, right? But why don't I recommend for her? Because she gets outclassed by Ariness early on. Now Ariness is this supporter that everybody has. Ariness is going to have a better support skills overall. She gives attack plus 25% and she also increased crit rate by 30%. Now early on, you don't need damage reduction as much, especially if you have Carlson or somebody to take hits for you and you know how to play the game and position your characters accordingly so that your tanks receive the damage. Alright, so attack buffs are going to be much more beneficial than damage reduction buffs early on. Now obviously, there's much more nuance to this when it comes to PvP. Damage reduction doesn't help much against Alec as much. Again, if fighting against Alec, since Alec does fixed damage, again, you'll have a character that's like, doesn't really help you as much against that character. Something to also consider. I would say most players are going to use Ariness early on, and she's probably going to be a go-to supporter if you ever want to run Annie, right? She's going to be the staple for a long while. And if you're looking for a healer, it's going to be Julie, because as far as I know, very cheap option. She has the ability to heal based on 25% of magic attack every turn for 6 turns. And last but not least, Ileana, I don't really recommend as much. Again, same issue with what I mentioned. She hits very front, and you can see based on this skill tile, she's very similar to Justia that hits very front and in the same tile range as well. So I don't see why you want to get Ileana per se. Now granted, if you get the same character and weapon, you can consider keeping, but Ileana can go for crit if you want to. So that's just my humble opinion based on the best reroll characters. I will say Alec, followed by Celia, followed by Rafina, and then the rest I've give you my reasoning on whether or not you want to pick them up. That's going to be something to consider, considering that this is going to follow the same steps with Brown does. There's going to be a lot more characters that's going to power creep each other. So Alec probably is going to stay in the meta for a long time. Same for Celia and Rafina as well. Now let's show you guys a little bit of the combat system. Now the combat system is very unique. As you can see right here, you'll have your characters in the grid. Alright, you place them in the 3x4 or 4x3 grid, and then enemies have this grid as well. So you can rotate them around. So it's a very grid-based strategy. So you make your character move in the order right here. So each of them will be able to use certain things. For example, they can hit with a normal attack. And then they have skill based upon costumes. For example, Justia right here, you can see she has 2 different abilities. You get this for free, by the way. You can basically decide if you want to hit the enemy as follows. Alright, this will enable you to basically KO certain characters. So if you want her to move first, you have to place her at the topmost. And if you want Carson to move first, then you have to arrange Carson and push Carson up. So depending on who you want to move first, you have to like configure accordingly. So it's very strategy based. You gotta think carefully who ideally you want to like configure to move first. Alright, I'll have Celia going with the by the way, this monkey, they can hit skip, very annoying. So I would suggest be very careful with the monkeys. Those monkeys are super annoying. I'm gonna go with this. You have this thing. These are the SP points required for you to basically cast certain spell. Alright, let me go in right here. Alright, we're gonna go in with the monkey afterwards. So we're gonna go Justia, monkey, and then we're gonna go this with Celia. And then we'll have a Carlson defend in the middle. Something like this. Alright, let's show you guys. So in this case, my Justia is going to attack first. Alright, we're gonna hit this. You can see 2 KO, followed by my character here. This is Rubia. Rubia is going to be able to hit the monkey afterwards because these 2 will be dead by then, right? So the monkey is gonna get hit. Ideally, and then we have Celia going at the back. Hopefully this will be able to get rid of the monkeys. And then we have Julie using with a front hit. I'm just gonna go with this, and then followed by Carlson. Again, we're gonna hit very front. So something as follows. So let's do it at ×1 speed so we can see this very clearly. Alright, so again, start off with double KO. Okay, so very good. You can see the grave right there. Alright, so we are going hopefully get rid of the... Okay, there's this pig still alive. Alright, monkey hit skip, remember? So skip is very... That means skip... In this case, it skips my Carlson and hit my Julie at the back. Very risky. Hopefully, Julie is still alive right there. Not too bad, not too bad. So this time, we are going to go Celia at the back. We're going to go with Celia at the back. And then we're going to go with... Rubia is going to get rid of this character, followed by Justia. Justia is going to hit very front, gonna get rid of this character. Or we can actually do this by pushing or something like that. So this will get rid of them in turn 2. The strategy is very focused on the strategy. And then we are left with the monkey. Ooh, monkey is done for. Now this combat system has improved ever since the previous beta that I played. This is way better than it is. Like, if you guys are not aware, let me show you guys a video. This is how the game looks like 5 months ago. Alright, so I make a video Brown Dust 2 in my channel back then. If you guys haven't seen, the battle system back then is going to be something like this. Alright. So you can see you are fighting in the top order. So you look at this particular angle, it's a very different angle. And personally, I think they have improved significantly ever since. Alright, in my humble opinion, this is like right now it's just way better. Like this is how it looks like way back then. Obviously the early version, I didn't like it as much. The combat doesn't feel as intuitive, and it does feel a bit lacking in some areas in terms of the animation and stuff. So I definitely do like the current approach, which is like way more modern. I actually like that you are able to rotate, and this feels more 3D as well. You also still have the option, if you want to play either in portrait or landscape, depending. So definitely the game is way better now. I would highly recommend you guys to try Brown Dust 2. So yeah, that's pretty much Brown Dust 2. I do intend to upload more guides on the game on my second channel, GuitarRock Gaming. If you guys haven't subscribed to me there, consider subscribing. If you guys intend to follow more of the contents or guides regarding this game, hopefully I'll cover it right there. Alright, so with that being said, subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Give this video a like. Appreciate you guys for watching this far. And if you guys are interested to download LD Player, I'll have my referral link in the description below. As always, have a nice day. Goodbye.